Unmasked, Episode 11, Superman. I didn't expect to meet someone new, not after everything. Not after the damage, the confusion, the constant questioning of who I even was anymore. Because when you've lived in survival mode for so long, you don't just switch it off. You don't just trust again. You don't just let someone in. You learn to protect yourself, to hold parts back, to test people without them even realizing. So when I met you, I didn't come in confident. I didn't come in healed. I came in honest. And that was the hardest thing I could have done. I told you everything. Not the version that sounds easier to love, the real version. The trauma, the abuse, the things I was still carrying, the parts of me that had been used against me before, because I wasn't doing that again. I wasn't going to pretend to be someone lighter, quieter, easier, just to be accepted. So I told you the truth, and I waited. Because usually when you do that, people either leave, or they stay and use it against you later. That's what I had learned. But you didn't do either. You just listened. No judgment, no shift in how you looked at me, no trying to find the weakness in it. Just listened. And I didn't realize how shocking that would feel, because basic kindness felt unfamiliar. I questioned it. I waited for it to change. I waited for the moment where you'd flip like I'd seen before. But you didn't. You stayed the same. And that confused me more than anything. Because I wasn't used to consistency. I wasn't used to calm. I wasn't used to someone just being good. Then I learned about what you had been through. The accident. Something horrific. Something that should have taken everything from you. Something that change had already lived through that before I even met you. You had already faced something most people couldn't even imagine. And you were still here. Still kind. Still patient. Still calm. And that's what didn't make sense to me. Because I had seen what pain does to people. I had lived with someone who used their anger, their issues, their emotions as an excuse to hurt. But you had every reason to be hardened by life. And you weren't. You didn't use your past as a weapon. You didn't use it as an excuse. You didn't project it onto me. You carried it, but you didn't let it turn you into someone cruel. And that was something I had never seen before. You didn't rush me. You didn't expect me to be fixed. You didn't get frustrated with the parts of me that were still healing. You just let me be. And I didn't realize how much I needed that. To be seen, without being picked apart. To be heard, without being dismissed. To exist, without being criticized. It sounds like the bare minimum. But when you've lived without it, it feels like everything. And slowly, something started to shift in me. Not all at once, not in some big dramatic moment, but quietly. I stopped second-guessing every word. I stopped waiting for the argument that never came. I stopped bracing myself for a version of you that didn't exist. And for the first time in a long time, I felt safe. Not because you said all the right things, but because you consistently were the same person. And that's when it hit me. You weren't strong because nothing had happened to you. You were strong because of what you had already survived. You had already faced something that could have taken your life. And instead of letting it harden you, you chose softness. You chose patience. You chose kindness. And after everything I had been through, that felt unreal. Because I had been taught that pain creates anger, that trauma creates cruelty, that people hurt people. But you showed me something different, that someone can go through something horrific and still choose not to pass that pain on. And that changed how I saw everything. You didn't save me, you didn't fix me, but you showed me that not everyone is the same, that not everyone wants to control, manipulate, or break you. You showed me that I could be myself, fully, honestly, and not be punished for it. And that did something bigger than anything else ever could. It made me question the lies I had been told about myself, that I was too much, too damaged, too difficult, too broken to be loved properly. Because you never treated me like that, you just accepted me. And I don't think you'll ever fully understand how powerful that is. To someone who has spent so long being made to feel like they were the problem. So yeah, maybe you're not Superman in the way people think. You're not invincible. You're not untouched by life. But you went through something that could have broken you. And you didn't let it turn you into someone who breaks others. And in my world, that's exactly what Superman looks like.